बताया था आपका फेंसिंग में जो इंजरीज हैं उस पर हमारे साथ डॉक्टर आरपी गुप्ता हैं आज। वो हमारे एफआई में भी हैं डॉक्टर। और अभी कल मैंने आपको बताया था कि आईओसी से, इंटरनेशनल ओलंपिक कमेटी से जो अभी कोर्स किया रिसेंट 2 लोगों ने, उनमें से एक हमारे डॉक्टर साहब हैं। सो प्लीज लेट मी वेलकम डॉक्टर आरपी गुप्ता। Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Yeah.
You are not audible, sir.
थोड़ा सा लाउड कीजिए।
Loud.
थोड़ा लाउडर बोलिए।
थोड़ा louder, sir. Little louder.
Okay. Now audible? Hello. Now
Okay,
audible?
sir.
Now audible?
Now session is over to you.
Okay.
Please, sir.
Okay. So screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Visible, sir.
Okay. A very pleasant good morning to all of you. Thanks for giving nice introductions about me. So I will start with the. Okay. So first I will start with the definitions of sports medicine. Actually, this topic is very actually my topic is sports injury and its prevention and management in fencing, and this topic is very vast. So I have tried my best to make it in short, and I will discuss about the important point regarding the sports injuries. So now first I will start with the definitions of sports medicines. It's a branch of medicines. It deals with physical fitness, treatment, and prevention of injuries related to sports and exercise. Now, why sports and physical activity is important? This is very important here because sedentary lifestyle or physical inactivity, it is the risk factor for morbidity and mortality from non-communicable disease like blood sugar, blood pressure, and diabetes, cancers, and early death. And in children, it has seen that this strengthens the child's muscles and bone strength, and it prevents excessive weight gain, anxiety, depressions, and it increases self-esteem and cognitive skills. So regular physical activity keeps people healthy. So it is necessary to have exercise for all of us in all age group. And it has seen that if we are doing the exercise, then same time we get some injuries also. But it has also seen that net effect of exercise and sports are beneficial than injury. So exercise and the sports should continue. Now here, for any injuries, it is a teamwork, a sports and exercise medicine team. So here, everyone has equal contributions for giving proper treatment, for making athletes fit, and for better outcomes. Here, everyone has equal contributions from coach to trainer to physiotherapists to orthopedic surgeons. So these are the all professionals who contributes for the better outcome for the sports persons. Now, definitions of sports injury and its type. So, sports injury defined as damage to the tissue of the body that occur as a result of sports or exercise, and it has divided mainly into acute injuries and over injuries. So, acute injuries, it has sudden onset and it has clearly defined cause or onset. And here, loading is sufficient to cause irreversible deformation of the tissue. Here, I will give examples of ankle sprain. Here, after injury, they will have complaint of sudden pain in the ankle, and here basically lateral collateral ligament that get irreversible damage because of sufficient force that causes damage to the tissue. Now, overuse injuries, it occurs gradually. Inciting events are below the thresholds for clinical symptoms. So in between, there will be complaint of little bit pain, and they are going playing also. It occurs as a result of repeated overload, either in the load itself or through inadequate recovery time between loading. Here is one example of stress tibia fractures. Hello. Some noise is coming from outside.
like you in this right there.
Hello. Hello.
Like
Actually, some noise is coming from somewhere. Hello. So why do injuries occur? If the training load exceeds the tissue ability to adaptations, and increase in duration of training sessions, and increase in training intensity, and the frequency of training sessions. So now, risk factors for sports injuries. Risk factors are two factors: internal risk factors, external risk factors, and inciting events. Internal risk factors are related to the sports persons, and external risk factors are the surrounding environment and the inciting events. So internal risk factors, it depends on the age, range of motion of the particular joints, previous injuries, and strength. And external risk factors, wearing the shoes and wearing the weapons, using the weapons, these are the external risk factors. And inciting events is when the injury it occurs. So Haddock's matrix has given one model to prevent the sports injuries. Basically, it was applied for the basically, this model was previously for the motor vehicle accidents, and it has two dimensions: athlete surrounding and equipment. It is the first dimensions, and pre-crash, crash, post-crash. It is the post-dimensional. So, like before crash, before getting accidents, so this is pre-crash, and crash while we driving any vehicles, and post-crash after getting accidents. So, pre-crash stage, we have to prevent the injuries to occur. For that, for athletes, we have to train the proper technique. Then they must have proper neuromuscular functions. Surrounding surface, we have to think about the floor frictions and playing rule. These are important. And equipment, shoes frictions. Crash while we are giving the, actually they are playing. That time, we like training status, we have to strengthen the muscles, tendon, ligaments, bones, so for adaptations, so that they will not have injuries. Like while we are driving, at that time, inside the car, we have the seat belts and balloons. It is same way here. And we have to explain about the falling techniques also. Then safety nets and equipments like tape or brace, it is also used to prevent the injuries. Post crash, it is after the any injuries. So here rehabilitation is important, and there should be in surroundings, emergency medical coverage should be there. First aid equipments and ambulance should be available there. So now I will go for the general injury prevention measures. So I will explain about this one by one. Warm up, cool down, preventive programs, appropriate training progressions. So warm up and stretching, it is very important for any athletes and sports persons. It begins with general exercise at moderate intensity, such as jogging. From jogging we can start. Prepare our body for aerobic activity. It increases our cardiovascular activity. It raises our body temperature to increase blood flow to muscles. It helps to reduce muscle soreness and reduces the risk of injuries. We can do static and dynamic stretching exercise. Flexibility training for increasing range of motion. Now cooling down. Cooling down is also known as warming down. It is also important because it allows the body to gradually transition to a resting or near resting state, allow the heart rate and blood pressures to return its resting state. So it makes us like before any exercise. How we can do it? We can do it by decreasing exercise intensity, brisk walk for 5 to 10 minutes. And its benefit is that it again prevents muscular and skeletal injuries, ankle injuries, and varicose veins, and other conditions also it prevents. So preventive programs, we can start core stability, balance exercise, dynamic stabilization, agility and polymetrics, and muscle systems. Here we have one examples of 11 plus program for soccer players in the FIFA. And this slide is blurred, and we can see on the internet also. This is very vast also. So this slide, this is applicable for all groups of athletes. So I will go through the important points like running exercise of 8 minutes, and strength, polymetrics, and balance exercise of 10 minutes, and running exercise of 2 minutes. In sequence, they have to do. And appropriate training progressions, it should be well planned. It should not be like too more intensity during the exercise and like that. And protective gears we have to use, like in fencers, they use the helmets. This also protects the injuries. And games should be fair play, And periodic health examination is also important because after any musculoskeletal injuries like ankle sprains, they came for any athletes come for the second games. Before that, we need to go for the periodic health examinations, and we will see the exact conditions of the ankle, like so that they can play well and they will not have the injuries. And cardiovascular examinations also we do at that time, so we can rule out any cardiac problems. So how we can manage the sports injuries in fencing or any other? So it has first we will go for the acute injury. Earlier there was concept of ice therapy, price. Now recent concept is police. So its acronym of police means it's protections, optimal loading, ice, compressions, and elevations. Protections by giving the protections by we are giving the splints and tray bandage applications. So by providing the protections, we avoid further tissue damage and bleeding. Rest, it is a relative concept when we rehabilitate to any athletes, and our aim is to begin progressive movement and regain functions without tissue damage. So this slide is very important for all treatments. So there should not be any confusion. So if anyone get any injury anywhere, first we will go for the local application of ice at least 72 hours. Okay, because there is acute stage of inflammation, so it is lasts for 48 to 72 hours. So we must apply 10 minutes of ice every 2 hourly, at least 48 to 72 hours. How it is beneficial? It reduces blood supply of that area. Vasoconstrictions means blood vessels get constricted and they prevent the blood supply. So if there will be less limitations of bleeding, then there is a reduction of swelling. It limits inflammations also, and it reduces the hypoxic tissue damage. So it slow the metabolism of tissue also, and it has local anesthetic effects. Means because of that there is pain reductions also, and it reduces muscle spasms also. So then because of that also pain get reduced. So this is the way we should apply in ice pack. We should put the ice bag, and it should be wrapped with a crepe bandage above and below the above and below the pack. Then compression treatments. Compressions we give with the help of the crepe bandage. So it also reduces bleeding and swelling. Now elevations. Elevations, if we will keep in the dependent positions, so because of the gravity, swelling get increased and there will be more blood. So elevations is important. And it is ideal if we combine with compressions. So this is the way, and we should keep it above the heart level so that swelling will decrease, and it also should be done at least for 48 to 72 hours. So if we advise for non-net wearing, which they will not put any weight on the leg, then crutch can be used. And here we can see here. So if for any ankle sprains, we use horseshoe shaped foam like structure. It gives the compressions to the joints and by the crepe bandage. Now treatment strategies for overuse injuries. Overuse injuries, I already explained about the internal risk factors, external risk factors. Here one more point is training plan. So it depends on total number of training volumes, training intensity, magnitude of each strain, durations, and change in training volume, intensity, or more. So we have to think about it, and if there is any problem, then we will address to that part by rehabilitations, by counter inactivity, and other modalities of treatment we will give. Then again we will reassess those things, and we will send athletes for the playing. Here I will give attention on one more thing, that if we will suppose anyone has the stress tibia syndrome, stress tibia fracture. So this time when we will treat these patients, so we have to think about the risk factor also, like how they are wearing the shoes and which types of weapons they are using. If we will treat just that disease, then again there is chances that recurrence of that problem. So principles for rehabilitation of sports injury. Goal of rehabilitation is to bring the athletes back to the desired activity level. So it has 3 stages: acute stage, rehabilitation stage, and training stage. Acute stage lasts few days to weeks, rehabilitations weeks to months, and training weeks to months. But the days overlap, and it depends on the recovery of the athletes. So acute stage, I already explained about the treatment. Rehabilitation stage, main goal are prepared the athletes to train normally to play games. So for that, it is necessary to have normal range of motion, normal strength, normal neuromuscular functions, normal aerobic activity. Training stage is ensure that the athletes regains normal ability to perform, to tolerate the loading that is unavoidable in competitions, and to tolerate normal amount of training before being allowed to compete again. So apart from that, supportive therapy, we give some drugs therapy, heat treatments, electrotherapy, autologous blood plasma, blood and platelet plasma injections, where we take blood from the athletes. Then we, by the centrifugation process, another process, we take the platelet plasma. We inject at the particular place like tennis elbow and tendonitis. There we put that injections, and it prevents the inflammation, pain, etc. So I will go for the 5 common fencing injuries. So here, apart from these, other injuries are also in the shoulders like subacromial impingement, then in knee, patellar tendonitis, anterior cruciate ligament tear, then meniscus injury also. But I will explain just 5 important fencing injuries like bruise, blisters, fencer's elbow, strained muscles and ligament, twisted knee and ankle. So bruise, it is most common with the beginners. And in saber, this is the slashing weapons. So this is the injuries of the bruises of the bigger size, mainly on the arms and shoulder. TP and foil are point weapons, so bruise tends to be smaller and round. And the most common sites are finger, front leg, knuckles, hands, and wrist are the most common sites. So how we can prevent the bruise? So bruise is prevented mainly by practice. So because of that, it is more mainly seen in the beginners. Treating bruise, it depends on size of the bruise with the betadine and other antibiotic ointments. Now, second point, blisters and calluses. So fencers get calluses and blisters on their weapon hand from holding their weapons and due to shoes. So we can use sometimes pumice stones to wear them down if it is too cumbersome. Another treatment is soak them in Epsom salts. And sometimes even calluses are beneficial for the fencers because tough skins are there, and that prevents the formations of blisters. So preventing blisters, when we are wearing the shoes and gloves, it should be completely dry. Otherwise, it causes the blisters. And sometimes we can use powder before wearing the weapons and gloves and shoes. How we can treat the blisters? We can treat the blister as early as possible. We can put the bandage to prevent it bursting. Don't drain or don't puncture it because there is chances of the infections. Keep it clean and covered and wait for subside. Fencer's elbow, this is examples of overuse injuries. So it occurs due to repeated motions of the weapon. Tendonitis is when the tendon becomes inflamed, get microscopic tear or become irritated in the elbow areas. And it is very painful. Sometimes it can affect the performance also. So how can we prevent? Warm up, learn good technique, watch your cross training and increase it gradually. The treatment is ice therapy, anti-inflammatory medications, and sometimes require splinting also. Sometimes other treatments like platelet plasma injections also, and exercise. So strained muscles and ligaments, it is most commonly seen in hamstring, shoulder and neck muscles. These long muscles on the back of leg are pushed and pulled constantly during fencing. And how we can prevent it? Again, by proper warm up and stretching, this is important. And treatment is rest, ice, anti-inflammatory medications and surgery. Twisted knee and ankles, knee and or ankle twist during the training and box. So we can prevent by proper practice, work on your form with the coach, and improve your form with cross training. Treating twisted knee and ankles, again, police diatectomy, warm up, flexibility, cross training, proper recovery and rehabilitations. So here I will go for some joints like ankle joints, shoulder joints, knee joints, hamstrings, how we can prevent the injuries. So in ankle, main injury mechanism is internal rotations and supinations. So we have to think about previous injuries also. If someone has previous injuries, then there should be proper rehabilitations, then they should come for the second game. Otherwise, there is chances of ankle injuries. And mechanical instability, neuromuscular, reduced neuromuscular functions. So ankle program exercise, here it is done on wobble board, 10-5-10 rule. 5 times a week, 10 minutes, 5 times a week for 10 weeks. Here our aim is to make balance on the ankle joint basically, not on the other parts of the body. It develops proprioceptions and it prevents the healthy ankles injuries and rehabilitations of the previous ankle injuries. Preventing knee injuries, injury mechanisms are powerful strokes when knee is extended and in valgus positions. And it depends on frictions between shoes and the surface also. So for fencers, so they have to see the surface, how it is hard or smooth. And when we sometimes we change the place, then also it happens. And it happens because of foot abruptly stop planting to cut, or when landing, causing the knee to twist suddenly. So for that balance exercise programs, it focuses on the changing the fracking and landing technique. It has we have to learn from the beginning only during the training sessions. And landing on two legs instead of one leg, that also prevents the injury of the anterior cruciate ligament or knee injuries. Here also we do the balance exercise, knee control exercise. Here in this diagram we can see how we do the exercise. So now preventing hamstring strains. So it happens because of poor warm-up, reduced range of motions, poor strength, previous strains that causes scar tissue, and quadriceps muscle is stronger than hamstrings. Sometimes after the suppose knee injuries, we do not do the proper rehabilitations. Then in that conditions, quadriceps are more stronger. That is responsible for the hamstring injuries. Preventive measures, how we can take, again warm-up is important, and we especially in weather, cold weather, it happens, so we have to avoid the cold weather, and if you are in the cold weather conditions, then we have to warm up dress should be applied, and should strengthen the posterior musculatures also, hamstring muscles. Hamstring program exercise, warm-up exercise, stretch your hamstring musculature. The goal is to prepare for maximum efforts. Here in this diagram, we can see the how we can do the warm-up exercise for hamstrings, first diagrams and second diagrams. So these are actually in details we cannot go through because it will take long time. So I will discuss just about the important points. And if anyone will have any query, then they can ask later me personally also. And hamstring flexibility training exercise is also important. Here our goal is to increase range of motions of the hip joint. So if there is no complete range of motions, that also causes injuries. So by doing the flexibility training, we increase the motion of the hip joint and reduces the injury. It should be done 5 to 10 minutes to 2-3 times in a week. Hamstring strength training exercise. This is also known as the partner exercise. With the help of the other athletes, we can do this exercise. This we can see in the diagrams. Now we can prevent the groin injury also. Here, because of decreased abductions, range of motions, it happens, and a low level of precision sport specific training, previous groin injuries. Preventive measures are extending the abductor and adductors with low back and abdominal muscles equipment. So groin program exercise, static exercise. Here in this diagram also we can see the exercise. Standing with the unstable pelvis with good torso control using tubing and performing concentric abductions and eccentric adduction exercise. Then functional exercise with the help of the ball, and shoulder exercise, so preventing shoulder injuries. So if any previous injuries and posterior scapular tightness, ligamentous laxity, all these causes the injuries. So preventive measures, how we can do, using the proper pad, educations, better coaching. Shoulder programs, this is the Theravant types of exercise, training of the trapezius and the apogee serratus anterior muscles. In this diagram, we can see, and coordinations exercise with the help of the ball, and the posterior capsular stretching exercise we can do. Now a little bit I will explain about the fatigue. Fatigue, because sometimes we do the excessive exercise. Because of that, we develop the fatigue, and we stop the exercise. Fatigue refers to the inability to continue exercise at a given intensity. Depends on fitness level, exercise intensity and durations, environmental conditions. So I will not go in details about this. Fatigue actually happens because muscles contraction depends on ATP and creatine phosphokinase, and there is glycolytic pathway because of that. So here one is the neural fatigue. Here at the neuromuscular junction, there is neurotransmitters. Because of that, sometimes happens, and decreased level of blood glucose and low levels of muscles glycogen are associated with onset of fatigue. So causes of muscles fatigues are mainly physical activity. Then it depends on other conditions also, like dehydrations, anxiety, depressions, fibromyalgia, and other medical conditions also. So first initial symptoms are muscles weakness, soreness, localized pain, shortness of breath, muscles twitching, muscles cramp. Treating muscles fatigue, treat the first underlying cause if there is any underlying cause. Rest and recovery is important. Maintain hydration, eat a healthy diet, and take enough nutrients. Stretching exercise before and after strenuous activity, warm up, hot and cold therapy, and physical therapy. how much exercise a child can do in a day. Children and adolescents age 6 and older needs at least an hour a day of physical activity, moderate or vigorous aerobic activity, vigorous activity at least 3 days a week, participation in muscle strengthening and bone strengthening activities at least 3 days a week. Again, it depends on the strength of the child also. So my reference was from this, and this is the number. Anyone can contact with me if anyone has any queries. And thank you very much. This is the hospital where I am working. Thank you. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for such a wonderful session. We hope के सारे coaches, I hope जितने हमारे पैनल ऑफ एक्सपर्ट पे हैं और जितने भी फेंसर हैं, they will follow. आपको बहुत धन्यवाद. बहुत ही बढ़िया आपने सेशन लिया है सर. It was too knowledgeable to us as well for coaches. Thanks a lot, sir. And sir, आपकी हमें फिर जरूरत पड़ेगी. Future also will call you.
नहीं, कभी भी किसी को कभी भी कोई जरूरत पड़े तो पर्सनली कॉल कर सकते हैं, मुझे मैसेज करते हैं, and I will be more than happy to address any problem. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Actually,
thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sir, will you please? We request you to send the PPT.
Okay. I will send the PPT
in the group. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Okay,
fencers, we'll meet tomorrow on Monday. We'll meet on Monday by 6:45 AM and stay safe. Follow Corona COVID instructions जो भी गवर्नमेंट ने दी है, गाइडलाइंस फॉलो. अपना सोशल डिस्टेंस रखिए. Wear your mask. We'll meet on Monday 6:45 AM. Have a nice weekend. Thank you.